Got so cold last night.
Yeah.
It's so early this year. I can't believe it.
Yep.
What happened to Indian summer? 70 degrees, nice and warm, all the beautiful colors in the trees.
We used to be able to burn the leaves in the fall.
Yeah.
I miss that smell.
Me too.
Well, the air is bad now, so.
It's a shame.
I think I will have another pickle.
These are from last summer, the ones I canned. Still got 5 jars left.
They're good pickles.
Uh-huh.
Mighty good.
Yeah. I can't believe they're all gone.
Yeah.
What?
What's that?
All the kids. Finally gone.
Yeah. I thought they'd never leave.
When Jimmy drove away yesterday, I couldn't believe it. After 30 years. All gone.
Time is shorter than you think.
So quiet.
That's kind of good.
God. Oh, we went through so much stuff.
Hard to believe.
How did we do it?
I do not know.
Me neither.
But we did it.
I guess. I don't know. I feel like I failed, Bob.
You did good, Rena. 8 kids. That's hard. You did damn good.
I don't know. How do you feel, Bob? How do you feel?
Relieved.
I was such a bitch.
Come on.
Well,
now.
I was.
8 kids would drive anybody nuts.
They were all a pain in the ass.
You're goddamn right.
I hope they're all right.
They're still alive, so I think we won.
I wanted to kill them plenty of times.
Me too.
Little bastards.
I hated them all.
I shouldn't have drank.
You stopped drinking.
Then I started.
Then you stopped.
I was so mean.
Everybody has problems, Rena.
I hope they forgive me.
They're fine. That's life. There's pain in it.
Oh, really?
Well,
I feel ashamed.
I don't want to hear that.
Oh, are you going to tell me what I can feel?
No, that's not.
I'm doing the best I can, Bob. I hate it when you talk down to me.
What?
No, you heard me.
I wasn't. I was
no
just.
condescension. I hate it.
You misunderstand me.
Not all the time, Bob.
What?
Not all the time.
I'm not perfect either. Okay?
30 years in this same small town where everybody knows everything.
We know about everybody else, too.
We used to have friends.
We still have friends.
We don't really see anyone,
I see people every day.
They wave. That's about it.
Well, that's.
I don't know. I'm sorry, Bob. I don't feel satisfied. I haven't really done anything with my life.
Come on, you certainly have.
No, please, let me talk. You've helped so many people. I'm so proud of you, Bob.
I couldn't have done it without you.
I should have gone back to nursing.
You nursed 8 kids.
How many babies did you deliver?
Dozens? I don't know offhand. I'd have to check.
How many didn't make it, Bob?
9.
Guess we've been fortunate.
Yes. There was a family lived here for a while, an Indian family, Native American, I mean, the Yellow Feathers. Dirt poor. They had 2 little boys, twins. They were about 7. They were joined at the hip.
Yes.
But one time they all show up at my office. The whole family, 9 kids, both parents. One of the twins had broken his leg. A tractor rolled over on him.
Oh, God.
Well, it was a bad break, too. The bone was sticking clean out. And that little broken leg kid was so silent. I mean, they all were. Nobody talked. But the tears just streamed down that little kid's face.
God.
So I set the leg, and it makes a loud clacking sound.
Oh.
And the little kid, he sits right up. Well, they both did. I mean, they'd have to, right? They start laughing. Everybody did. But the little broken leg kid, he laughed the hardest.
It's so strange.
About a month later, there's a box on the back porch. Beans, corn, squash, tomatoes, and the cast from that little kid's leg.
Yes. What happened to that family, Bob?
I believe they moved out west.
So much happens and goes unnoticed. One time, one summer, just before sunset, hot in the evening, dusk, and everyone was out in the street. All the neighbors, all the kids, everybody together. And the sky was this strange color, green and purple, and the clouds were bubbled under like egg cartons. There was a tornado watch, and everyone was scared and nervous, but kind of laughing too, excited. And then there were these bats, dozens and dozens of bats flying out of that hole in that old oak tree that finally died. And the bats came right at us, and all the kids were running and screaming, and the parents were, well, half the parents were screaming too. And some of the neighbors got rakes and shovels, and they were swinging away, and one of them hit a bat, and it landed all bloody and hissing in old Doris Moore's hair. Oh, God.
Jesus.
She was in a wheelchair, and she could hardly move because of her stroke, and everyone was screaming, and Doris grabbed the bat with her one good hand and flung it, and it landed in Minnie Wilson's baby carriage right on her little baby's lap, little Timmy. God. And then Billy Benton, remember him? He was kind of mentally slow. He used to eat sand. He grabbed the damn bat and flipped it on the ground and stomped it over and over and over and over. And then the sky cleared up, and it was beautiful, golden, and the air cooled down so nice, and everybody just wandered back to their homes, and you and I walked with all the kids down to the Dairy Queen for dip cones.
I hate to say it, but I don't remember that.
Really? None of it?
I don't know why.
I felt so close to everyone that night.
Huh.
Poor Doris Moore. I'll never forget her face with that bat tangled in her hair.
She had a hard life.
What happened to her, Bob?
She choked on a piece of grizzle at Lang's Cafe.
Oh.
Then had a heart attack.
Sad.
Well, she was 98.
Still.
That was the summer you had your cancer scare.
Oh, God. That was scary.
Good thing we found the lump.
Good thing you touched my breast.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
you went to church. You went back to church that weekend.
But I didn't like that new priest.
He wasn't friendly.
No, I miss old Father Deeds.
Yeah, I liked him too.
I could really talk to him.
Hmm.
You know, when you think you're going to die, you look at life differently.
For a while, anyway.
What do you mean?
Well, I've seen a lot of people die, and once they know they're going to go, they start talking about it like they're talking about the weather.
My friend Gail was like that. They gave her 6 months to live. And she kept bringing things over here every week. She'd say, well, I'm not going to be around next spring, so you might as well have these VHS tapes. And I couldn't say no.
You don't want to offend her. She was kind of prickly.
And then the next week she'd be at the door again. Well, you might as well have these summer shorts. I won't be wearing them again, and they didn't even fit me. But you can't.
You can't say no in a situation like that.
And then she came over with her underwear and socks.
She had a lot of stuff.
And then she didn't die.
Went into remission.
And she started asking for her stuff back.
Oh, brother.
And I'd given it to Goodwill, which upset her. So she never talked to me again.
She was
a prickly person, yeah. Like you say.
Yeah.
And odd. I never knew what she was thinking.
These are good pickles.
Yeah, thanks.
When people die, they sometimes say strange things.
Like what, Bob?
When my dad passed away, I was there by the bed with Mom, just the three of us.
Uh-huh.
And my dad took a long, deep breath, looked right at me, and he says, shut the door so the kid doesn't get cold.
What kid?
I don't know. Then he died.
Huh. I'm glad you were able to be there, Bob.
Yeah. Dad didn't like me very much. He was kind of a bastard.
But you got over that, Bob, didn't you?
When I saw him weak and like a child, helpless, I guess I forgave him. A lot of it.
Bob, I've got to tell you something.
Uh-huh.
That time, that spring, when you went to that medical conference in Minneapolis,
Uh-huh.
I was drinking.
Yeah.
Alive.
Uh-huh.
And I met a man.
Are you sure you want to tell me this?
No, I have to. I need to, and I hope you.
I know all about it.
What?
It's a small town.
How long have you known?
Years.
And you never said a word?
What should I say?
Do you hate me?
I can't believe you asked me that.
It only happened once, Bob. I feel so guilty.
I did it too.
What?
One time.
You did? Who? Who was it?
She moved away.
But who was it?
I honestly do not remember her name.
What?
I guess I should, but I don't.
I never thought you would. I
didn't
just
either.
Never thought. God damn it. God damn it. Why is life so fucking...
It just is.
Really?
It just is.
Is that how you're going to sum it all up, Bob?
You're goddamn right, and so are you.
You're full of shit.
So are you.
You always have been.
So have you.
Oh, I guess we know where we stand.
Yeah, I guess we do.
Do we?
I don't know.
What should we do, Bob?
You tell me.
Oh, we've been through
So much more than this.
It's a lifetime. I'm sorry, Bob. And I forgive you.
And you know, I've always loved you.
Thank you.
Is there anything else?
I hope not. You know everything about me, and I hope I know everything about you.
Of course you do. Except...
What? What?
I don't know.
Bob, what?
Did I ever tell you I killed a man?
What?
Now you know everything about me.
You're not serious.
What do you think?
No.
Are you sure?
Oh, you bastard!
I guess I am.
Yes, you are.
Did you believe me?
I don't think so.
I hope not.
Bob,
Uh-huh.
let's go to the Dairy Queen. I think it might be a nice day out.
The trees are starting to change.
Yeah, I hope so.
I'll buy you a dip cone.
Nope. It will be my treat.
Oh, goody.
Bob.
Huh?
When we get back home, let's do something different.
Amazing.
What?
I was just going to say that.
Really?
I was just going to say those very same words.
Oh. Kind of mystical when that happens, isn't it?
Makes you kind of wonder what else is going on that we don't know about.
Oh, there's got to be something, Bob.
Maybe.
Don't you think?
Hope so.
Yep.
Honey,
What?
the Dairy Queen is closed.
Oh, that's right.
How about we just stay home?
Yes.
I feel so close to you right now. I don't want to lose it.
I'm so grateful you said that.
Me too.
Have the last pickle, Bob?
I'm all pickled out.
Go ahead. Eat it.
No, thank you.
Eat it.
Why?
I don't know.
Me neither.
Me neither.
Wonderful. Yeah, wonderful. So,
Good job, guys.
I'm applauding for a nice, huge house. So,
Okay, I just want to give you my notes for today.
uh,
Here they are.
uh,
Here they are.
very, very good. That's great. So I'm going to ask the first question, and then I'm going to go to Dave Field. So Dave, don't go away. Don't go away, but I'm going to ask the first question. And I'm going to take this right to our playwright, to Joe Keys. Hello, Joe Keys. So, so Joe, you have a, where do you look? Where do you look? I don't know.
Well, I have
I don't know. Where do you look? So Joe, you have such a wonderful blend of drama and of humor, and you're able to weave this so seamlessly within your characters. I'm very curious if this is your writing style, or if this is something that you set out to do with this piece. How did this? Can you talk a little bit about the evolution and you as a writer?
I wish I could take all the credit for it, but Steve and Lily were just so good with this material. They made it come to life so well. I got to give them all the credit. That was beautiful, guys. Great job, and thank you so much. And Peter too, Peter Flood, for your insight and direction, and you too, Todd. For making this all happen. But what was the question?
The question was, in your writing style, or in the way you wrote this particular piece, you interweave comedy with drama. Was that your intention with this particular piece, or is that what you do? That's
my favorite. My favorite thing to try to write is tragic comedy. It just seems that's more like life, what happens in life, I don't always succeed, but I always am drawn to that for some reason. I think it may be where I came from,
Right.
My dad was a coroner and a doctor, and he'd sit at the kitchen table and tell us these stories about, people that had died and stuff. that were sad and
wow, that's great. That is great. You need a series. I'm sure you have a lot of stuff. All right.
Maybe we'll try to write some more of these.
Please do. All right, Dave Field, you're on. Just unmute yourself.
I love this thing. it's nothing happens and yet everything happens for me. It's like so reminiscent of the frumpy mornings that we have at my house. And I gotta compliment Peter and Joe on choosing your cast. Boy, they were so wonderful. I thought they were off book, the show. Is that true?
Yeah.
Are you guys off book?
Yeah.
That's an achievement. And I also love that you were both in the same set. You know, we didn't have two talking heads, you know,
No.
in separate windows. It was just, that added a lot to it. And it was also clear that Peter got in a lot of rehearsals, and it flowed so easily that that's what has to happen when you have good rehearsals. So congratulations, Joe. I love your stuff, always have, and keep it going. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it.
Peter, would you mind talking a little bit about a casting and the fact that you do have two actors on the same set?
Well, this piece, Joe and I have talked about this piece like for 4 years. I mean, that we put this piece up in 2016 when we did Infidelity in Pieces at Greenway Court out of the old playwright and directors unit. You know, it was good then, and a lot of work went into it, and we just kept talking about the piece and the evolution of the piece. And when Steve, we're working on Sullivan Girl with Gina Costa and Jack Kaler, and Steve has come into Sullivan Girl, has replaced Jude Ciccolella, and he and Jack have been so great together. Joe and I did a reading at the old playwright and directors unit of one of Joe's play called The Brothers Play, where Steve was on stage with Peter Breitmeyer. And it was a wonderful experience, working experience, and a great result that night. So I have deep attachments to Joe's writing for the reasons you've already touched on. But this I would not have done in two separate windows. I would never have done this play in two separate windows. And the fact that Lily and I had not worked together, but it's been a blessing to work with her. She's a fantastic actress. And you guys are just so, the ability to be in the same room, and the house they live in is sort of perfectly suited to the piece. So it was just really a no-brainer to carry the writing into it and get as much out of it as we could within the time that's allotted. This is basically our fifth rehearsal. So it's always a little, it varies from run through to run through, which is what it should be. And you guys, it was just perfect today in terms of what we have worked on till now. And it's a pleasure working on Joe's material. But like every other play, you're just completely dependent upon the life the actors find with each other. No directing. It just can't be micromanaged, and it has to be managed, but it can't be micromanaged. And that you're really, surrender yourself to the hands, the actor's talent and their instincts and their emotional life.
Great. Thanks, Peter. I'm going to go to Gina. Gina, you're on.
Hey, you guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm a huge fan of everybody on this screen right now, all five of you. And Joe, it's so awesome, first of all, to see you, to hear this piece again. I'm a huge fan of this piece. I have been since, like Peter said, we put it up in 2016, and just to see Steve do another one of your pieces is fantastic. And I completely agree with Peter. It was such spot on casting to not separate the two characters. So that was really lovely. And to see Steve and Lily together in that awesome kitchen. I love that yellow wall. That's killer. I love that. And with the still life of fruit and behind you, I mean, it's really, whoever did your set decoration is like, spot on.
They did it. And Todd, Lily, yeah, the three. Todd was a big contributor to all of that lighting and everything, the look of the piece.
Martha Stewart.
Well, I was so happy to hear it, to see it live again with these two fabulous actors. And I'm, like I said, I'm so looking forward to hopefully Steve, fingers crossed, soon, Peter, fingers crossed, and Todd, so you guys just gave me a wonderful treat today, and thank you so much.
Great.
I think, hold on, Gina. I think we're going to write Lily into Sullivan Girls somewhere. I'm pretty sure.
She is in. She is in. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Gina, I love your work too, Gina.
Yeah.
Frank Henke.
Yes, I'm here with Margot Hammond.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Frank.
Hi. That was a Joy. That was a terrific piece. I really just got sucked into these people's world, and there's some things that really slayed me. The bat story is just magnificent, you know. And Steve, I love that when you did the whole, you know, that you committed murder. You know, that was the way that play was really sweet. And I just loved, and it was just great to see you guys having that moment to moment and just playing off each other in these subtle ways as you were going through it. You were just really staying with it, and I think the material really carried you along. That was just fabulous.
Yeah, and John, this is Margot, Frank's wife. The tragic comedy definitely works, and everybody was on board. Peter, the director, and the two actors, everybody got it. And I was so pleased, as everybody else, that is in the same place. And yeah, the humanity of it, the humor of it, the details of it, you know, the Dairy Queen, the dip cones, and all that. I thought everybody together was in the same place. And thank you very much. I had a good time. And I don't know smartphone theater, and now I'm going to follow you guys.
All right, please do. Yeah, please do.
Thanks, Frank.
Great, yes. I
Thanks,
encourage everybody to keep following us. So thank you. That's the best compliment ever, actually.
Thanks, guys.
Calling from Jersey City Heights.
Woo!
And Margot's a playwright herself, which she didn't say. That's really good.
Excellent. All right, we're going to go to Zully. Stuart Zully.
Hey guys, I know Joe and I know Peter. I don't know our two actors, but I sure wish I did, because that was a clinic. That was really just fantastic. The timing that you guys had, I just kept looking closer because I thought somebody had to break, because I was cracking up on my end. And I just thought, how can they stay with this? And it just was really something, because you had that relationship, the subtlety of it all. Like I said, it was a clinic. It was a real jewel, just a 20-minute play that, you know, you laugh, you cry, you know. I mean, it was just really just beautiful work for all of you. You know, Todd, I hope you filmed that, because that's it. Check the gate. That's a winner.
I'm trying to get Joe we decided we're going to pressure Joe to write the Minnesota Diaries, so that we see these characters woven in and out of them, that it's one thing after another with them. Anyway.
Yeah, really, Joe. I mean, honestly, that stuff, it's so dry, but it just pulls us right in, you know. He's just, you know, eating the pickles and just talking about, you know, as Dave really said it, which is, it's so small and it seems like it's nothing, and yet their life could crash at any second right there, you know, with these confessions that come out. And to do that in 20 minutes, I mean, ask anybody who does a one act how difficult that is, to create the relationship and the history and what's going on off stage and whatnot. That was a gem. Well done, Todd. Well done, everybody. Really fantastic.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you.
Hey, Stuart, I'll email you the Lily and Steve's contact information.
Great.
All right. Thanks, Stuart. And break a leg tonight.
Thank you.
Break a leg.
Lisa Richards.
Hello, hi.
Hi,
So
Lisa.
I just think your play is lovely. wonderful play. I have not seen it before, and the actors were just amazing. I wanted to say that I feel that Peter Flood gave such good input because everyone was just in their place and they just worked off each other easily, and each moment flowed one moment from the other, and when it got up, and then it went all different places like water in a stream. Peter, kudos to you.
Thank you, Lisa.
And because I know the work it takes to get to such a place of ease and reality. I was really impressed. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Lisa.
We have, it's not a question, but it's from Bruce Robinson, who says, wonderful, the terrific playwright, the director, and the superb actors created people about whom you really, really care. Excellent. So thank you, Bruce. And so I'm going to throw a question really quick. And if anybody has any more questions, just let me know. And we'll probably wrap this up in about 6 or 7 minutes. But I'm going to throw a question to Stephen Lilly. And that is that when developing characters, because these are such wonderful, rich characters, when developing characters with the playwright in the square bottom right, obviously you want to honor his play, but what did you, it's sort of a hard question, what did you, the two of you, how to work on in order to bring such richness and such connection to the two of you that wasn't necessarily on the page, that may have been beyond the page, to the point where Joe went, wow, that's really great. I know Joe. So Joe would go, wow, that's really great. I didn't think of that. So there's a wonderful three-dimensionality to this that you really, from timing, and I know you're going to say, look, we've been doing this for 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. But I also would love to know a little bit more.
Well, can I go? Yeah, I mean, I think when the writing is true, a lot of the work is already done, and that's what I felt like when I read the play. I was like, wow, Beckett in Minnesota, except it's shorter and tighter than any Beckett play I've ever seen. And I just, one thing we did was we looked up the obituaries for Joe's parents.
Yeah, I'd already grown the mustache, and then I see his dad had a mustache.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And, we've been married. I think that fills in a lot of gaps for 30 years.
And we're old fans of Joe's work, and we know the sort of rhythm of it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't know if y'all have seen Bob's Office Party, every year, but that's a completely different style and everything.
It's in a whole different tone, but
That's one of the biggest losses, I think, of COVID, because I defy them to figure out how to do that one in squares, because I don't know if they can,
We might try. We're going to talk.
I think you could do it if anybody could, but.
Yeah, yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
But so we're used to his writing, and we love his writing. And I feel like this play is really, really cuts pretty deep, and he's from that family. Except there were more, right, Joe?
There were 10, right?
There was 10 of them.
10, yeah. 10 kids, yeah.
And I think in this day and age, that's so unknown to everybody, at least in an urban, like our lives. I mean, 10 kids.
Well, that's what I was going to say is we don't have kids. So we were like, wow.
Yeah, I love the photo that you guys found, because
yeah.
that pan out on, I love that. It's like, yeah, they just survived that.
But those things you see on the news where there's a sort of a hole in the ground and people are saying, yeah, the tornado came through here. And, that's what it sort of seems like to me,
Yeah.
You've written one of those moments where, what the fuck,
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. We don't have censors. It's all good. Yes.
Father, what's his name out here?
Father Dietz.
Yeah.
Father Dietz.
So
Yeah.
Joe, this was inspired by real life?
Well, more or less, yeah. There are certain things that happen. I mean, actually, on Facebook the other night, I was talking to I mentioned this to you guys, but I'll repeat it. My neighbor on that block Her name is Gay Asleson. That was her name, but she's married now. So, and I said to her the other night, do you remember that night in the summer when all those bats were out? And she goes, oh my God, yes. So she was there. This was like in 1961, I think, maybe, and the whole, I didn't even know she was there. And I asked her. And so there were incidents, that bat thing happened. It was very dramatic. And this guy, and there were certain things that were autobiographical, but certain things that weren't, I guess for the sake of the piece, I thought this whole thing about having affairs would be a device to really infuse it with what it needed dramatically, but the bat thing was that was a live sort of thing. And the yellow feathers, that was not, I don't remember that ever happening, although there were Native Americans in my hometown, Pipestone, but none by the name of the yellow feathers. I don't know exactly where that came from, except for this kind of, like Peter and I were talking about, the kind of the mystery of like laughing, you're in such pain and there's laughter. What is that about, yeah, I mean, it's in such great hands. I mean, I knew these two when they said they would do it, and Peter, I figured it was going to be good because they're such great actors and they're married and they're home in the same place. And as Peter mentioned, I've worked with him before, and I always like the way he explores things. And so I'm just grateful that it went so well tonight.
That's great.
And I just want to mention that Steve picked the music, the lead-in music came from Steve. Todd forced me to find the plate and did all the credits and edited the whole thing and put it all together. I found the image, but I took it to black and white and colorized it so make it look older. And so it's a completely collaborative effort all around everything, and everything went into today.
Package deal. I mean, really wonderfully done. I think you have one more question, and this is from Catherine Knight. And
That's
she
my
said,
twin sister.
oh, fantastic. Sister, he asks, please let us know.
Not joined at the hip, though.
Your sister?
Twin
Not joined at the hip. Funny.
or twin sister.
Please let us know how the stories they tell came about.
Well, I had just mentioned the bat thing that actually happened,
What about the thing about people talking about their death like they're talking about the weather? What inspired that?
Well, I don't know, except one thing that one of my siblings who may or may not have watched this, one of them, I thought, told me that shortly before my father passed on, he mentioned something about some kid outside. There was a kid outside in the courtyard, and that always stuck with me. Like, was there really a kid there? Did he just think that, or was he getting close to? And that just kind of sort of triggered some of that stuff,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Cool.
So.
All right, wonderful. All right, if does anybody else have any question, you could send me a Q&A or raise your hands. I think it looks like we're getting, oh, wait a minute. We have an anonymous attendee. Wonderful play, director, and actors. I love these lines. So much happens and no one notices. Just one question. How did you two work in the history you've shared? By this time, so many couples would have lost the ability to listen to each other, which these two actors have so innocently kept, or the repeating of events that they have heard many times, but they had the ability to listen. They were more like a recently married couple, a beautiful couple. Lovely to think such couples exist.
Wow, that's a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah. One thing we decided is that I was so busy with all the kids and he was so busy at work that he missed whole chapters, like the Gail chapter. He might have known that she was in remission because he was at the hospital, or at the clinic or whatever. But that I probably never told him about it. Too much happened in the day. I couldn't remember that Gail brought over, the VHS tapes or whatever. So we decided that some of these things that could have been, yeah, I've heard it before. We decided to do another choice, and that's just interpretive. You could do it any which way and find out which one kind of works the best and feeds the piece the best,
Yeah, I think that one thing in the exploration of the piece, the two couples have what Lily just said. The two couples have lived really separate lives together. So she's with the kids, he's in work, and both things are deeply engrossing. I mean, you can't raise 8 kids without being constantly daily involved with the evolution one after another after another. That's the parallels between that and being a small town doctor, where you're going from one patient to the next patient to the next patient, one after another, informs a lot of things about how you deal with sensitivity, how you deal with emotion, about life in general. The thing about listening, I think couples, even when they become used to each other or overly familiar, or not overly, but so familiar that they don't listen at moments, what pulls them back together, love essentially is either there or it's not there. And if it is there, then ultimately listening surfaces, because to not listen is a manifestation of the absence of love. And I think that's what the piece is about, the remembrance of that, or the recalling of it, the resurfacing of it. So they're back, and this is a couple that's been together a long time. And at the end, we debated about how the ending should go a lot. I mean, did debate, but we had a couple of options that we've been playing with. And we set it on the kiss because it seemed the most appropriate and most complete. And in its own way, truthful to this underlying thing that holds Bob and Rena together. I don't think there's any question that they love each other. And although, sometimes that's not so obvious if you argue and there's separation and stuff like that, may not be momentarily obvious, but it comes back. That's the word, the beautiful word is abide. It abides. That means it could be hidden in a moment and then it resurfaces.
Thank you, Peter. That's beautiful.
Right.
Okay, anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, well, and you guys can interrupt me while I'm ending this, but I want to thank you guys for all the hard work that you've done. Joe, for your wonderful play. Stephen, Lily, for your wonderful work and talent, and Peter for everything that you do, which is quite amazing. So thank you guys very much. It was a terrific Friday night.
Thank you, Todd.
Thank you, Todd.
Thank you, Todd.
I love that someone out in the audience said, I wasn't familiar with smartphone theater. So you guys know, every Friday, 5 o'clock Pacific time, we're up. So please come, tell your friends, smartphonetheater.com. There's always a link on the top of the page. And we also have a library. So all of our Friday nights are recorded and they're put up on the library. So you can come back and revisit and catch up. And we do both shorts and full lengths. So the last handful of weeks we've done shorts. Eventually there'll be another full length, and we split that into 2 weeks. So make sure you keep on coming and keep on checking in. And if you're so moved, we have a tip jar or support things and all sorts, so you can help support us and keep our internet on from week to week. And other than that, thank you guys. We love being connected to everybody. We love being connected to you guys here on the screen. And we look forward to big hugs where we could actually do that in person again sometime very soon. And you guys, as I mentioned, don't go far, because I'm going to send you another link really quick, just so we could have a little toast. And anybody want to say anything to the audience really quick before we sign off?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for showing up.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Everybody. Yeah, thanks everybody for coming in and interacting and hearing everybody's voice, through everything Todd does in keeping smartphone theater alive. There's the work itself, and then there's the community of people who create work. So both need attending.
Exactly. This is all one big community, the people on the stage and the people in the house. So we're thrilled. We're absolutely thrilled. All right. I hope to see you again next week. We have a wonderful show. And in the meantime, have a wonderful Friday night. And thanks for coming out, and see you soon. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.